The case which has been transferred to this division is filed in the Commonwealth of Kentucky by Fred Cowan, Attorney General versus Louisville Crematory and Cemeteries Company, Inc. Your Honor, please, Gary Hillary for defendants Amos and Copley.
Bart Adams Corporation, Louisville Crematory and Cemeteries.
Mr. McCormick is here, and Mr. Shackelford.
Yes, Your Honor.
Any other attorneys that I have not named?
You know, I think when it gets right down to the brass tacks, the evidence is there in the record. It's indisputable. There's a 150-page report that was filed by Phil de Blasi, who is the archaeologist working for the University of Louisville. You know, he has made his expert, you know, opinion known in that report. You know, there's vast overburials. There are deficiencies in the trust funds. That's the long and short of it.
Statute of limitations, 1 year. They could not find a case of overburial within a year. They would have had to go on through the records. They would have had to, you know, this sort of stuff. They never were able to do that. They had charges with grave desecration.
Plain view in everybody's sight was a skull, intact. And I went back and told the supervisor, I said, hey man, you gotta come look at this. He said, cover it up with a tarp and put it back in the hole.
Here's what's happening. We're going out there and we're having to hide skulls with tarps. So these family members are not seeing that there's other bodies in the dirt that's going to be refilled into the grave. There's lots of bones and bodies.
I mean, the stories they're unbelievable. They're overwhelming.
I heard stories about how they were finding bones in different places. I did contact the Attorney General. At that point, I was a stay-at-home mom, so I was able to put some time into it. And I remember contacting the Attorney General, and he did go down and check the grave. He said that if he's there, if that was him, he was only buried inches down. But he couldn't guarantee that either. And so at that point, I really did just came to terms with it and just still continue to not go down there and celebrate his life in other ways.
I mean, I was shocked. I was devastated. I mean, you know, to know that possibly all the loved ones was buried on top of my loved one, which is my mom. So it was quite devastating.
He did not purchase that plot, you know, knowing that he was going to have other people on top of him.
It's actually known coast to coast as the nation's most grossly abused cemetery. I mean, you Google Eastern Cemetery, Louisville, Kentucky, you're going to find an article from the LA Times or a newspaper in New York talking about, you know, the horrible things that went on.
Well, after you've dug through so many bodies, you could not take a backhoe scoop. You could not dig a backhoe scoop virtually anywhere in Eastern Cemetery without getting pieces of people.
I mean, there are people who still own plots that are supposed to be empty, but they're probably not. And I mean, how do you can't really make that right, honestly.
You had hundreds and thousands of family members coming up wanting to know, once this broke news, is my family buried with somebody else?
Pulled out a loaded .38 caliber revolver and stuck it in my face, probably no more than a foot or two away from right between the eyes. And this guy was easily in his 70s, if it wasn't in his early 80s, and I could see the chambers were loaded on the pistol.
It's part of my faith. We bury the dead with dignity, and that did not happen.
You know, they walked him out of it, and I thought, no, it's not right. It's not right. They're going to walk, and nothing's going to be done.
There's just bones everywhere. The joke was, when we got the investigation going full blown, you couldn't sling a dead cat in Eastern Cemetery without finding a disturbed burial.
We had the bare bones of the story, and then as we kept working, we kept uncovering more and more scraps and more scraps, and it's a much, much bigger story than I think anybody could have imagined.
When you would go there, it's like the place just like it wanted help. Like it was begging for help.
We're waiting for it. It belongs to you. Die, it is your property, your estate. It goes to your heirs. It is owned real estate.
Every single one of them is going to be going through one of the hardest times.
Yeah, there's holes in the ground. Yeah, where the cars pass by. Yeah, there's holes in the ground. Yeah, where the piled high. Piled high. So where's your angel of redemption? Way up in the sky. So now where's those good old intentions? Yeah, 'cause the bones don't lie. The bones don't lie. The bones don't lie. Another shot of a whiskey. Yeah, another shot of it. Another nail to the casket. Another lonely vid. So drop an egg into the basket. Hair of a dog we tisket tasket. Here we go down to the bottom. Here we go where the bones don't lie. So where's those angels of redemption? Way up in the sky. Yeah, where's those good old intentions? Yeah, 'cause the bones don't lie. The bones don't lie.
They never were able to. They got charges. Not with rapists. Not with things that exist. They charge you with
Eastern Cemetery consists of 29.6 acres of land and is located in the Irish Hill neighborhood of Louisville, Kentucky. Founded in 1843 by two Methodist churches, Eastern and its sister cemeteries, Greenwood and Chardine, were owned by the Louisville Crematory and Cemetery Company for 145 years. Following an investigation by the Attorney General's office in 1989,